The Exodus 1, aka INDIGOSKEYE, aka y'all already know who it is, man. The Trigger Man himself, Trigger Ranking. I'm not feeling too up to par today, but I'm still trying to, get these hours up. So I'm gonna do what I need to do this year to get it rocking, man. Cause I gotta get on point. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, hit notification bell. If you want to donate to the channel or follow me on any other platforms, everything's in the description at the top of my YouTube. With that being said, let's get the show on the road.
You are watching a master at work.
All right, y'all. First video we're about to watch is Star Snitch, and they said Shannon Sharp blasted by Jake Paul. So with that being said, let's see what they talking about, y'all.
So this is the same Jake Paul that took down the pound for pound heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson. This is the same Jake Paul who is sticking his tongue out to people and doing the all mocking tongue.
Did you see when he hit Jake Paul that final time? Did you see Jake Paul said
his face? Yeah, he felt that kind of power.
Hell no!
We have breaking news for you. Boxer Anthony Joshua has been injured in a car crash that killed 2 people in Nigeria.
After news broke that Anthony Joshua was involved in a serious car crash in Nigeria, an incident where 2 of his closest friends sadly passed, people online immediately started saying, "This feels eerie." For weeks, fans have been whispering about the so-called Jake Paul curse after spotting what they claim is a pattern with fighters who face Jake. Jake has fought around 13 opponents, and a noticeable number of them later dealt with injuries, setbacks, or public drama, according to fans. So when Joshua hit the headlines just days after sharing the ring with Jake, that theory blew up all over again. And then Shannon Sharp entered the chat at the worst possible moment. Just days earlier, a clip of Shannon went viral with him laughing at the idea that Jake Paul ever stood a chance against Anthony Joshua. Not long after, the story flipped from boxing banter to something heartbreaking, with reports focusing on Joshua's friends passing in that crash and Joshua himself reportedly being in serious condition.
I know one thing. Anthony Joshua held back, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah.
There were many wide open shots.
Yes.
And that a fighter at his level, you take those shots because the opening is there.
If you notice heavyweight, that's why the only really when you go back and study heavyweight Sojo, the only one that moved was Ali. Ali weighed 205.
That's it.
You start getting these heavyweights 220, 225, 230, 245. You get Klitschko 6'6".
Yeah.
You get Fury 6'8", 6'9", 260, 270.
Yeah.
You get Lennox Lewis 6'6", 255. Now you start to get, it is not a division, but they're what we call super heavyweight.
Yeah.
Bow. Those big guys.
Really bold, yeah.
550 on. You can't move like that. It takes oxygen.
Yeah. Hey,
y'all heard how your boy was breathing. I don't want to bring it up, but you heard how your boy was breathing. It takes a lot of oxygen to move. 255, 260.
That's when commenters started connecting dots, claiming something dark follows Jake, and insisting this isn't the first time bad news seems to trail the Jake Paul spotlight. Some even went full conspiracy mode, saying the whole situation gave them Illuminati ritual vibes. No receipts, just internet speculation spiraling fast. First, let's break down the terrifying accident.
I thought it was weird too that Hey, what's up? How you doing? I thought it was weird too that he got in that accident and 2 of his friends passed away. But I think by him being in such great shape, I think that's the reason why he probably was able to survive it, because he's a big strong man, so he probably could have took a blow better than his 2 friends that was riding in the car with him.
Alden, while in Nigeria, the homeland of his parents. The incident allegedly happened on Monday, December 29th in Ogun State, along one of the country's busiest highways, instantly raising alarms online. According to early reports, Anthony was a passenger in a Lexus SUV that reportedly slammed into a stationary truck. The impact was severe, and authorities later confirmed that 2 people in the vehicle, identified as Anthony's close friends Amy and Kevin Latifio, sadly passed following the incident. Other passengers were injured but survived, and Anthony himself reportedly suffered only minor injuries and was transported to a nearby hospital where he was listed as stable. Nigerian authorities quickly launched an official investigation into what went wrong. Preliminary police findings suggested the vehicle may have been speeding and lost control while attempting to overtake, though nothing has been finalized yet. Shortly after, Anthony Joshua's spokesperson released a statement confirming the two men involved were extremely close to him. The statement read, "It is with the deepest and most profound sadness that we confirm following a road traffic accident in Lagos, Nigeria earlier today, sending shockwaves through fans worldwide." The statement continued by confirming that Sig G and Kevin Latifio had passed following the incident, noting they were close friends and key members of Anthony Joshua's inner circle. It respectfully asked for privacy for the families as they processed what was described as shocking and overwhelming news. Anthony himself sustained injuries in the crash and was taken to the hospital for checks and treatment, where he was listed as stable and kept under observation. What made this situation hit even harder is the timing. The crash happened shortly after Anthony was dominating headlines for a massive high-profile win against Jake Paul. That fight was officially announced in November 2025, and from day one, fans were locked in on the mismatch. Size, weight, and experience were all leaning heavily in Joshua's favor. Joshua reportedly stepped into the ring nearly 27 pounds heavier and about 5 inches taller, with years more elite-level experience behind him. When the bout finally happened, Joshua took control early and secured a 6th-round stoppage, ending the night decisively. Paul, on the other hand, was later taken in for medical care,
we're watching
facial injuries that...
Damn, that's a real picture. We're watching this thing, Star Snitch channel. They're talking about Shannon Sharp blasted Jake Paul because, you know, after Jake Paul, people was fatally killed in the crash or whatever. People got all these, you know, speculatory things. They thinking that it's the Illuminati or Jake Paul got a curse and all this.
Reportedly required surgical attention, fueling non-stop debate online. That's when Shannon Sharp weighed in with his blunt take. He brushed off the drama, saying the entire matchup was ridiculous and suggesting Joshua was clearly holding back instead of unleashing his full power, an opinion that instantly sent social media into chaos. But here's the other side of the story, and this is where fans say things start getting weird. Online commenters are now pushing a theory they've dubbed the Jake Paul curse, pointing to what they believe is a troubling pattern involving fighters who step into the ring with Jake Paul. No proof, just a timeline that people can't stop arguing about. It allegedly starts with Nate Robinson, the former NBA player who fought Jake back on November 28, 2020.
Taxes is feeling unpopular. Now Taxes is an open door to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts. They do your taxes, so you can walk out with confidence. Now this is Taxes.
She said it's going to be probably in your late 30s that your kidneys are going to just deteriorate over time. There were times where I got sick and I was just throwing up and I couldn't control what was. I had to go to the hospital for a couple. Feeling greater than I've ever felt before, so I just, you know, kept dealing with the routine over the years. For me, I just was like, man, this is, you know, just another stepping stool, another obstacle that I had to overcome. I was like, I'm not going to let this be me.
Robinson was stopped in the second round, and after that bout, he largely disappeared from boxing talk, later focusing on health matters following reported kidney complications. Fans say that moment marked the beginning of something unsettling. Then there's Ben Askren, who faced Jake on April 17, 2021. He was stopped in the opening round. In the years that followed, Askren dealt with severe medical issues, including pneumonia and complications that eventually required a double lung transplant.
Damn.
Supporters say this only added fuel to the so-called curse narrative.
What's up, guys? Have not given you an update in a while.
That's crazy. Damn. He went from UFC fighting to in a hospital bed.
Figured you deserve one. Whenever this is all the way over, I actually just read through my wife's journal because I don't remember anything from May 28th to July 2. No recollection. New idea. No idea what happened. We'll kind of go through it all, and it's I just read through my wife's journal. It's like a movie. It's ridiculous. So I only died 4 times. Right, where the ticker stopped for about 20 seconds.
I say he only died for like 5 times.
That's not real. I don't know if you guys know that. But I got the double lung transplant. I made it out to the other side of it. Gaining quite a bit of strength. We're into user.
Next up is Tyron Woodley, who fought Jake on August 29, 2021 and lost by split decision. After the fight, Woodley publicly spoke about financial struggles, which later led to bankruptcy filings. Another point fans were quick to connect. And then there's Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who faced Jake on June 11, 2022, losing by decision. Not long after, he ran into legal and residency complications, including reported issues with his status in the U.S.
The famous Mexican boxer has been arrested by U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement agents and will be deported. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was arrested for overstaying a tourist visa that expired last February. Last week, Chavez was in the ring with YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul.
Fans insist it's just coincidence, but others swear this pattern is way too consistent to ignore, and the debate keeps getting louder by the day. And then fans bring up Tommy Fury, the British fighter.
Sir Jake Paul.
Fans insist it's just coincidence, but others swear this pattern is way too consistent to ignore, and the debate keeps getting louder by the day. And then fans bring up Tommy Fury, the British fighter who faced Jake Paul on February 26, 2023, and won by split decision. After that fight, Fury's personal life suddenly became public spectacle territory with non-stop headlines about relationship drama involving Molly May Hague, plus ongoing chatter about lifestyle issues that fans say derailed his momentum. Then people point to lesser-known cases too. One example often mentioned online is Ryan Borland, a low-profile fighter who appeared in exhibition bouts with Jake. After those appearances, he stepped away from professional boxing entirely and returned to a regular job, which fans oddly include in the so-called pattern. And of course, there's Mike Tyson. Before his scheduled bout with Jake, Tyson reportedly dealt with a serious medical emergency involving internal bleeding, requiring extended hospitalization and multiple transfusions. He later recovered, but fans still fold that situation into the larger narrative, even though the incident happened before the fight itself. Now add Anthony Joshua to the timeline. He fought Jake on December 19th, winning by 6th round stoppage, with judges heavily favoring him in earlier rounds, while Jake reportedly suffered a jaw injury requiring surgery. Then just 10 days later, Anthony was involved in that devastating car crash in Nigeria, pulling him into headlines for reasons far removed from boxing. So when fans line all this up, suffered a jaw injury requiring surgery. Then just 10 days later, Anthony was involved in that devastating car crash in Nigeria, pulling him into headlines for reasons far removed from boxing. So when fans line all this up, health scares, personal turmoil, career detours, and sudden life shifts, they insist it's more than coincidence. Online, people keep calling it the Jake Paul curse, arguing that what keeps happening to Jake's opponents is genuinely strange, even if it's all still speculation and internet theory run wild.
2023 was the best year that has ever happened to me. I had 2 multi-million-pound fights. I won them both. I got engaged. I had a beautiful baby daughter, holidays, everything, houses, the lot. And then all of a sudden I'm starting the year off in 2024, and the fact that I lay in the hospital bed and I knew that I couldn't fight this year, I couldn't train this year, couldn't lift weights, couldn't do any of that. Mental health was in the pan, really, really bad, because I only live for training and my family, it's like, that was all snatched away from me. I was going through a terrible time, drinking every day.
Men all over New York have been talking about how expensive city life has gotten.
We all feeling it, like everything's expensive.
You know, what good's that?
Fans kept stacking more fuel onto the fire. Jake has fought around 13 opponents so far, and commenters keep insisting a concerning number of them face serious problems afterward. Health scares, career derailments, or sudden life shifts. Then things took a sharper turn when one viral post claimed Jake Paul had converted last year and allegedly cast a Kabbalah curse on his opponent. Pure speculation, but it spread fast and hit a nerve. From there, some people went even further, framing the entire fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua as something ritual-like rather than just boxing hype. Fans pointed out that during a press conference face-off, The CEO of Most Valuable Promotions was allegedly flashing what they believed to be an Illuminati-style hand sign. Again, no proof, just internet interpretation running wild. Others zoomed in on Jake's tattoos, especially the eye inside a triangle on his chest, along with skulls, demons, and esoteric-style designs scattered across his body. Online theorists typically look at these symbols as culturally linked to dark or occult imagery. Even though tattoos alone don't prove anything, fans also resurfaced footage from Jake's fight build-up with Mike Tyson, where Jake walked out wearing a skull and bone style jacket. To conspiracy-minded viewers, that visual felt symbolic, and they folded it straight into the narrative. Now, some users are pushing the idea that Anthony Joshua's car accident was a warning, a reminder. They claim that unseen forces are pulling the strings behind the scenes. One post on X summed up the mood saying, "Call me crazy, but this whole Anthony Joshua situation felt like someone reminding him who really runs things." Maybe the fight didn't follow the script, maybe money was lost. That's just my opinion. No evidence, no confirmations, just speculation spiraling fast, and the internet eating it up like fuel on a fire. One fan doubled down saying, "You're not alone." My first thought too, you can see it in the fight. Jake Paul signaling, telling him to take it easy, even using his tongue. He did the same thing with Mike. Maybe he didn't play along this time and paid a price, or maybe he was the target and it missed. Either way, this doesn't feel random. At the same time, plenty of people are pushing back hard. They argue this is nothing more than internet conspiracy talk, and that Anthony Joshua's accident has absolutely nothing to do with beating Jake Paul. No hidden meaning, no deeper message, just an unfortunate chain of events. But even critics admit the timing feels strange, and that's why the conversation refuses to die down. The fight, the headlines, the accident, it all lined up in a way people can't stop dissecting. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think this is all just coincidence, or does something about this situation feel off to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video, and I'll see you in the next.
All right, I'm gonna check the Trapmore Ross video out, talking about David.
With the YouTube
updates.
music guy, you can start a radio
I've been getting
station
most of my
with
updates
30
from him
artists.
and Law and Crime.
Trapmore Gang, it's been a little while, at least a couple of days, since I've given you guys a David update. Now, I actually have 3 different David updates that I'm going to be doing over the next day or 2, but there's a few new interesting pieces of information that are going around. And this video is a bit disturbing because what I'm going to be talking about is a theory that's currently going around where some people are actually suggesting that maybe there's been a few different fall guys that have been put forward for this.
He's right, you know.
Situation. Obviously, the 14-year-old girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, was unfortunately found deceased in the trunk of a Tesla belonging to David. It was towed from just a few streets away from where he was living at the time in a rented property, a mansion, a $20,000 a month mansion. But there's been a lot of weird stuff going on. People have been saying the manager might take the fall for this. Maybe his friend, or some people have called him his boyfriend, or, you know, there's been some very sus pictures of them together. This guy, Neo. Some people have been saying maybe people around him might, who knows? But now, for the first time, I'm seeing this, okay? And this is one of the few people that have actually been seen, confirmed, side by side with Celeste. It's actually David's brother. And there's people on Reddit that seem to think that actually they might be lining up a play, or even, who knows? Who knows if it's the truth? But it might be being primed for David's brother to actually end up taking the fall for what happened to Celeste. Now, this is a bit of a far-fetched theory. I'm not saying absolutely for sure this is what's happening, but it is very unfortunate that David's brother is one of the only people that's actually been seen side by side with Celeste in a clip, a video, okay? And there's a lot of people that think maybe David's brother is being used as a pawn for his games. So this was a clip that's really been doing the rounds for months now. I mean, it's crazy to think that this has been going on for over 4 months, all right? It's now 2026. There's been no arrests. It's actually insane. Okay, this was September 18th, 2025, just after the body was discovered, the body of Celeste, rest in peace to her. But basically, people are pointing out that there was this very cursed show at the Fonda Theatre. This was June the 27th, 2024 at 10:12 p.m. We got the exact minute that this happened, okay? And people have been saying, is that Celeste? It's the girl in the pink pants, Celeste, and she was seen with David's brother. Uh-oh, let's be careful. That, from what I understand, a lot of people believe that that's her. She's been snuck in, people have cross-referenced the outfit, and that's apparently David's brother taking her backstage. This is pretty damning, right? Because the thing about this, okay, is it connects David's brother, and this is why people are saying he might be the fall guy for this. David's brother, this is one of the most damning things here. Yeah, we've seen Celeste allegedly on a Twitch live stream. That's definitely not a good look. But like, you you the one taking her backstage. Like, this is a bad look. Like, you got more connections to her than a lot of other people. Like, you taking her backstage, you sneaking her back there, you smiling, you showing your face. Like, this is a very regrettable clip, okay? So this did the rounds on TikToks. People saying that's most likely her, same hair and eyes, distinguishable eyes, the Hello Kitty Crocs. That really stuck with a lot of people. She always used a hoodie to cover her face. Now time's gone on, people are saying she was at that show with David's family. She was apparently sat in between David's brother and sister, okay? So it's gonna be very hard for you guys to say you didn't know this girl. People are saying, I wonder about his family, because when the car was first found, so many people were saying this guy was straight-laced, traveling with his family, but now we know at least one family member knew Celeste. How did he explain having a minor in his entourage? I'm so confused and disheartened by people. Very, people saying, look at the shoes, most likely her. Very, very sad. So it's gone around a whole bunch of different subreddits, right? Again, it's David's brother with David's sister in the picture as well. Celeste there. They're saying that that's David's family with Celeste, and she sat in between the brother and sister. Okay, it's gonna be difficult.
Damn, son.
Right? It's very, very difficult to explain. And so that brings me to this post, and where a lot of these theories about David's brother being dragged into this are beginning to go around. People are saying Caleb is reposting a Celeste lookalike and comments, "This is my type for real, for real. Will this be the PDF charges defense for David?" All right, or the PDF charges defense. So they're saying if he's charged with the PDF allegations, will this be a defense that Caleb was actually the one romantically involved with Celeste rather than David, but was Caleb used as a pawn for David's gains? Reposting that saying, "This is my type for real." That's a Celeste lookalike. This is not cool. But here's the thing. Here is the thing. Him setting up his brother to be the fool guy.
She don't look like Celeste though to me. I wish I could see this. Y'all go watch the video back over. Trackmore Ross, he put this out 14 hours ago. David's brother taking the fall for Celeste, but this lookalike girl is...
Not for an alleged murder, but for the relationship would actually work because his brother's younger than him, right? It might.
Brain China started in 1976. Back then, I was MBA student at Georgia State.
I mean, look at this. Allegedly filmed backstage with David's brother. Video has been sent to the police, right? He was saying, "This is my type for real, for real." People saying, "I thought his little brother was gay." I don't know about that. People saying it looks like an attempt to change that perception, have it on record. It says the family are very religious. The parents probably want to change him. He was saying that's a big leap to go as far as his parents were trying to do some sort of conversion therapy. I don't know if that's what's really going on, okay? But they're saying his comment seems very intentional. People saying, wow, what a pitiful attempt to try and get rid of the PDF charges. Caleb has never posted anything like that until all of this went down. What a clown show, probably. I hope he wanted to get dragged into this mess because that's what he just did. The only thing that's going to potentially do is make it look like Caleb could be the murderer, or it could give the prosecution a new theory as to why David killed Celeste. He found out that she was also messing with his brother and killed her. This is not going to be a winning legal defense. They're hoping it will be. Way to make things worse for your whole family, David. How many more people are going to be collateral damage for this case before time is over? People saying, when did he post this? Yesterday. Convenient, LMAO. People saying, ain't no way. I was thinking about what if they try and make it seem like his brother was the one dating Celeste, but that would be crazy. And now I see this post. This is crazy. People saying, okay, so Celeste and Caleb date. It's age appropriate and encouraged. The only flaw with that scenario for the Burks and Burks, it is something about the baby Burks and Blair Burks, is where the images, that's the lawyer, where the images of Celeste and Caleb are together. I guess Pastor Burke going to be busy on that AI trying to conjure up some photographic proof that his youngest son was dating the likes of Celeste Rivas. Besides, Celeste and David's phone records will literally give up the ghost. This comment is very, very well informed and all of it.
It's like preacher's kids, man, bro. Preacher's kids be, I don't know what they be going through.
Different aspects of this.
But it's like they usually always get in a lot of trouble.
They're saying, okay, so he doesn't get charged for PDF, what about the murder? It's a good point. It's all well and good trying to make it look like little bro is dating little sis. But then, what about the murder? Bruh. It says, they're so effing weird and they know people are watching. This is a joke to everyone and you can't convince me otherwise. The whole family can kiss my ass. His brother is literally gay. His type is men. I don't know if that's true. It says he's doing that on purpose. It says we're being the ones who are being so hyper-vigilant of a child's repost. What about being hyper-vigilant of a child being found dead in the trunk of a Tesla? So I don't accept that. I'm going to downvote that too. I think it's lame. one who commented that. It says, what's up with these two brothers, SMH? This is a hugely bad look. Unrelated, but isn't David's brother a minor? That would be my question, is like, could he be trying to save face for his brother being with a minor as an adult? Heard he's allegedly like 16, but it took some digging to find that information. And it seemed like it was based off an interview a few years ago where he says his age there. He was saying his brother was 12 in 2021, so he's 16 coming on 17 currently. He says, this is literally so transparent to me anyways. They're just trying to deflect the PDF allegations away from David. It's going to be really hard to argue in court against phone and data and text. It's a lot easier to stir up the questions with the public on social media now. It really just comes off as intentional, especially with all of the other similar posts floating around everywhere to try and change people's perspectives or paint a different picture of what could be happening. In a time when David has most likely been told to go silent from his legal counsel, I'm going to do a separate video about him going silent. It seems unlikely his family would not have been advised on how to behave during this time, since they're all very much being monitored and they must be aware of that. They have to see the scrutiny even his friends are facing. Everything they do matters in the court of public opinion and everything they share. So when they're very much in the public eye, that makes me interested in why this comment on the lookalikes photo saying that this kind of girl is his type. Just based on the screenshot with little knowledge of context of the musician or anything, this seems very much like a strategic and targeted comment to deflect blame from David, who easily has 6 years on Celeste where Caleb has 2. There's a big difference between juvenile court and adult court, and for the specific purposes of the two, this reminds me of vaguely when Josh Marshall, this comment is a beast, but I'm going to go through it because it's quite interesting. When Josh Marshall had randomly posted out on TikTok about everything, trying to dismiss the rumors about him and his connection to David, when we later found out around the same time the investigative grand jury had already been convening. The idea of Caleb being with Celeste is one way to try and blow heat off David right now. Caleb, given he lives in Texas, also would have no connection to the concealment of the body, since he would be at home based on the information I currently have. That would put things back on David, but avoid any accountability for his PDF and grooming behaviors, which is absolutely disgusting. It's so sad to see how normalized this stuff is becoming. We have seen bordering exploitative photos of Celeste's funeral, her family trying to return to normal during the holidays, but things on David and his family have been totally quiet. So why would this be one of the first things we're seeing? It just seems way too tactical for me to believe. I don't like to speculate on sexuality because I believe it's even entirely a fluid thing, but even David said he was gay and he was taking him to see his boyfriend or on a date. I forget what exactly was said, but I think they was on the tour bus. He could have been joking, he could be gay, he could be bi, but I cannot fathom the idea that these two men are trying to bone the same girls. It's cap, right? He's still going with the comment. It's a good comment though. Honestly, not entirely related, but for comparison, I forget about 6 9 remix or something like that. It says he was also posting on his story yesterday, new music of his. Caleb getting in the music. They're saying we still locked in. The root of all evil. You can keep that. You can keep that, buddy. Freaky ass song about eating some box. Oh, so now you eating the box. Says his whole family don't give a F. He's trolling like a mother effer. This boy is GAY. I guess he finally broke up with his boyfriend. Talking about eating box. Shut the hell up. Everyone is trolling sick people, right? Who even says eating box? Is that a you thing? Because I've always just heard and said, like, pardon me, eating pee? 2026, I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. These might never come out. The caption is insane. Okay, this is apparently a post on September. That's her birthday, September the 7th, 2025. Who's posting on her birthday? It doesn't mean anything, but still. Left one post open, Celeste's birthday. Well, that's when it all came crashing down. This is crazy. If Caleb isn't being strategically used as a pawn for or by David, like you mentioned, then why the hell are his parents allowing him to be on social media at all, while his brother, who he emulates in general, is officially suspected of the murder of Celeste? And then he does this. He's either acting out, middle child thing, a sicko like his older brother, and or back to the original possibility, part of some larger and even more cynically disturbing scheme. Thanks for sharing this. People saying something much more sinister is going on. What rational explanation is there for something like this happening? Then again, life is art. All right, people saying I agree, this is weird as F, but honestly, his parents have always been weird as F. They probably think David is the victim. Edit, I'm also pretty sure they're watching this thread because he's just removed like 15 followers of his in the time since I posted this. Started at 1005, now down to 996. This is getting, I ain't gonna lie, this thread is juicy as hell. This theory is one of the juiciest theories I've heard in this, okay? And I'm not trying to sensationalize it, but it's just like, bro, it actually makes sense. Like, everyone's clutching at straws, and it's like, maybe my minor brother, we could get him in and put him in as a stooge, and then the relationship's fine, and then we might still skate on the body. Like, if the body was left and decayed in a way that we can't.
Yeah, this is just, man, it's just weird in so many different ways, man. But y'all, I really ain't feeling too good, man. I'll catch y'all next time. I might catch y'all tomorrow. I'm not feeling too good. And man, I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, notification, peace, and one.